everyone, I'm Miss Kyle and we're talking all about rising up together this month. We have another awesome adventure for today. Check out this video of others showing kindness to each other.
Justin, I really like how you draw on yourself. A little butterfly right there. Thank you. Lainey, I really like your earrings.
Oh, thanks. Dylan, you're really funny and I like the jokes that you make.
Rowan, I like your shirt.
Now you try.
Have you ever heard of the mountain climber exercise? Here's how I would describe it. I would get into a push-up position with both of my hands and feet on the floor, and then I'm gonna bring one knee up to an elbow on the same side, and then lower that one back down with my legs straight back, and then go back and forth, back and forth. But this time, I'm gonna see how many I can do in 1 minute. But I might need some encouragement. Can you cheer me on? Don't let me stop, okay? Don't let me stop until the timer goes off.
You're not gonna stop there. You can do it. Yes, you can. Just do it.
Almost there. Almost there.
I was getting so tired doing that. But then, knowing that I had people to cheer me on and encourage me, helped me to keep going. Thanks so much, friends.
Hey guys, you like this really cool campfire I made? My favorite thing to do around a campfire like this is to tell really awesome stories. And I got a doozy for you guys this week, so here it goes. Do you know what happened right before Jesus went to the cross? Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Peter was probably scared that he was going to get captured just like Jesus was. But you know what the really crazy thing about this story is? Jesus told Peter this was going to happen. Jesus was like, bro, before the rooster crows, you're going to deny me 3 times. And Peter was like, me? I don't think so, Jesus. You got the wrong guy. I would never do that to you. But guess what happened? Peter did just that. He denied Jesus 3 times. And when he realized what he did, Peter's heart was broken. But then Peter was so excited because he heard Jesus was resurrected. He rose from the dead. But he's also a little bit nervous because he hadn't really gotten a chance to talk to Jesus about what had happened yet. Has that ever happened to you? Maybe you disobeyed your parents and they knew about it, but you didn't have a chance to talk to them about it yet, and you might have been a little scared or nervous that they were going to be upset or mad at you. I'm pretty sure that's how Peter was feeling at that moment. But later on, all the disciples are fishing. They're out on the boats fishing. And they've been fishing all day long, but they haven't caught one single fish. And then off on the distance on the bank, someone says, hey, cast it on the other side. And they're like, really, guy? We've been fishing here all day and haven't caught a fish. But if we just go to the other side, we'll catch them all. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. They threw the net to the other side, and they caught so many fish that the boat almost sank. And that's when they realized who the guy on the shore was. It was Jesus. Peter was so excited that he found out it was Jesus, he started swimming all the way to the shore. He swam so fast, he beat the boat there. And when they all got to the shore, do you think Jesus was mad at the disciples? No. He's like, hey boys, lunch on me. So they all went to lunch and they were having a great time. The whole crew was back together. And Jesus went over to Peter and he said, Peter, do you love me? And of course Peter loved Jesus. And from that moment, Jesus gave Peter a mission to watch over Jesus' followers everywhere. Jesus wanted Peter to know that he was forgiven and that God still had a plan for his life. Isn't that a great story?
It's time for our Bible story. Today we learn a story about Jesus and one of his disciples, Peter. In this story, the disciples are out fishing without Jesus. They sat and they sat and they sat, but they caught no fish. They kept sitting and waiting, but still nothing. Peter became so disappointed. Then someone called out to them and told them to try putting their nets on the right side of the boat. They did just that, and then fish filled their nets. When they saw this, Peter and all the disciples knew that the person who called out to them was Jesus. Peter was so excited, he swam to where Jesus was standing on the shore. Jesus had started a fire and was preparing breakfast for the disciples. Jesus even told them to bring some of the fish they had just caught. After they had finished eating, Jesus turned to Peter and asked him a question Peter didn't expect. Jesus asked Peter if he loved Jesus more than anything. Jesus asked him this same question 3 times, and Peter told him yes every time. Then Jesus told him, since he loved Jesus, to take care of everyone who follows him. Even when Peter made a mistake, Jesus didn't turn him away. He welcomed him and encouraged him. He cheered him up, gave him hope, and let him know he still loved Peter very much. Jesus let Peter know that he could still do big things for God, no matter what he had done in the past. The disciples knew Jesus, but the world didn't know him the way the disciples did. So Jesus told Peter to go and tell people about Jesus, to encourage them like Jesus encouraged him, and to love them by sharing the wonderful news of Jesus.
Do you remember all of that encouragement I needed when I had to do all of those mountain climbers? Can you imagine all of the encouragement you might need to climb a mountain? Well, that reminds me of today's big idea.
What's the big idea?
Jesus gives encouragement. Now say it with me. Ready? Jesus gives encouragement.
Hey, I'm glad you guys are still here. I have another story to tell you. So this one actually involves me. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I coach 7th grade football. And before one season started, we were doing practices, and there was a kid that came out, and he was awesome. He was the first one to volunteer to do the drills. He always had a positive attitude. He always picked up his teammates when they were feeling down, and we really liked him. We thought he's a great kid, because he was. But once the season started and we actually got to putting the football pads on and doing all the football things, it just became apparent he wasn't as good as some of the other players. But that's okay, because we still need really good people on the team. But as the season was going on, he started coming to practice less, started getting less involved when he was there. And I just noticed that he was down all the time. And so one day he didn't even come to practice at all. And I gave him a call afterwards and tried to figure out what was going on. And I asked him if he'd come back the next day and just talk to me before practice. And he agreed to do that. I could just tell he needed some encouragement. So I asked him what was going on, and he said that he felt bad because he didn't think he was good enough. And so I let him know that just because maybe he wasn't getting as much playing time as some of the other kids or getting on the field as much, he was still such an important part to the team because he was a leader. Just because he wasn't playing that much doesn't mean he couldn't be a leader. He still could pick up his teammates and still be encouraging to everyone else. And I just let him know that, and then his attitude changed. He started coming back and being the same kid that we thought he was at the beginning. And he ended up becoming, later on in the season, he ended up becoming one of our team captains. And he started playing a lot more because we just couldn't get him off the field because he kept trying harder and getting better. And so it was cool to see just that little bit of encouragement help him out so much. What are some ways that you guys think Jesus encourages us? One of my favorite ways is that Jesus always reminds us that it doesn't matter what we do, we're never too far from God. God will always love us. I think that's pretty cool.
We all have bad days. I have some life hacks on how to beat a bad day. So if you need a little encouragement, I have some tips. Tip 1, laugh a little.
Why did the teddy bear say no to dessert? Because he was stuffed.
Tip 2, make a gratitude list. So my gratitude list might look like, I'm thankful that I got to go out to eat with Derek and Dresden and that we took a really long walk together and stopped and got ice cream on our way home. It's really fun. Or that I'm thankful that I have one of those little robot vacuums to scoop up all of Liberty's dog hair all around my house. Tip 3, sing your favorite song. Tip 4, dance. And my favorite one, tip 5, smile. I've been writing this joke about paper, but I don't know if you'd want to hear it. It's terrible. It's time for another read through our Bible, so will you turn with me to Psalm 4:1-2. Answer me when I pray to you, my God who does what is right. Lift the load that I carry. Be kind to me and hear my prayer. People, how long will you turn my honor into shame? You love what is false, and you look for new lies. Can you imagine what would have happened to Peter if God didn't show mercy? God is a good God and shows all of us mercy. And Jesus encouraged Peter and told Peter there was a plan for his life, even though Peter had done something disappointing. Jesus used this moment as a time to encourage Peter with words and actions. So who do you need to show mercy and encouragement to today?
Romans 10:9. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved.
It's time for this week's memory verse. Sign it along with me. If you declare with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised Jesus from the dead, then you will be saved. Good job, guys. Keep it up.
Hey everyone, it is time for worship. Stand up, do the motions. Here's another one of your favorites. Ready? On a day like this, on a day like this, on a day like this, oh, I need the Lord to help me. On a day like this, on a day like this, on a day like this, oh, I need the Lord to help me. On a day like this, neater, neater, on a day like this, neater, neater, on a day like this, neater, oh, I need the Lord to help me. On a day like this, neater, neater, waka, waka, on a day like this, neater, neater, waka, waka, on a day like this, neater, waka, oh, I need the Lord to help me. Last time, on a day like this, neater, neater, waka, waka, hooga, chooga, on a day like this, neater, neater, waka, waka, hooga, chooga, on a day like this, neater, waka, hooga, oh, I need the Lord to help me. Good job, everybody.
Okay, before we go, would you join me in prayer? Dear God, thank you for encouraging us. You show us mercy and love even when we don't deserve it. Help us to show each other more mercy. We want to be encouraging and loving just like you. Amen. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next week. Oops. If you would, you can. Oh.
Overconfident.
Did he say seen fish?